This time of a Tuesday that we welcome Mr. Nico Kleynhans into our studios, and it's a regular feature. We love it to bits. Nico, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you and also to the listeners.
I believe a baboon was a way that God spoke to you recently. Please tell us the story.
Yes, there are times when God has to get through to me, and a baboon is a good way to do it. Well, we were on our way to the Eastern Cape. We got to the toll road, and the toll operator, operator at the toll, they said they don't accept tap and pay.
What?
And they will not accept credit cards. They only want cash. Now, the banks tell us we must not use plastic anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, we mustn't use cash anymore. We should
we
use
mustn't
plastic.
use cash, and we mustn't use plastic
That's
either.
Right. It should be tap with your phone.
Tap with a phone using a virtual card, because if you're using a virtual card, then you are guaranteed by the bank's insurance company. If you're using plastic, you are not guaranteed by the bank's insurance company.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't let me through. They made me then do a U-turn, drive the wrong way on the freeway for 500 meters.
What?
Followed by everybody else who got turned around to get to the other side, to go and find a garage, to be able to find some cash, to pay to get through the toll road. So I was already unhappy by the time I got the cash through the toll road.
Yeah.
10 kilometers on the other side, we got to the halt, because now there's construction, and in the Eastern Cape, the double freeway is now closed, one way only, and we are waiting for our turn to be able to move.
Oh, lovely.
I was not in a happy mood. And as I sat there waiting and grumbling about life generally, I happened to look to the passenger side, and there came Bob the baboon. Now, Bob was not having a good day either. You could see that on his body language. And so, to keep myself amused, I began to invent a story about Bob.
Okay.
You see, Bob had forgotten his wife's birthday, and she had given him the silent treatment. Silent treatment works very well.
Oh.
And she'd also told the kids to go and play with Daddy, and he was being driven mad. And so he walked away from everybody, and he sat outside our window wondering what to do. And a motorist who had thrown out a cup of coffee, Bob sat there and realized, this is my answer. I need to have some coffee.
Coffee makes everything better.
And as he picked up the coffee, and you have a photograph of Bob, he took the top off, put it to his mouth, and the cup was empty.
Oh,
he threw down the cup in disgust, and this was the end of his day. And the lesson I learned then was, Nico, in a few kilometers, there's going to be a coffee shop. Learn from Bob. Just pull over, have coffee. Your day is going to go better. And when you get to your sister, you'll have a smile on your face.
There we go.
And that's what Bob taught me that day. Just have coffee and the world gets to be better.
There we go.
Now, while we were in the Eastern Cape, I met two business people. And I want to talk about those business people. And the question I asked myself is quite simple. How do you make sure people use your business and not the competition?
Yeah, because there's lots of competition out there.
That's it. The first was a farmer. 10 kilometers from the closest village, not town, village, 3 houses.
So very rural.
No tarred road, not even on Google. How do you now make a living on that farm? So 35 years ago, they had that question. And they said, well, what we do here is we make cheese. We make spectacular cheese. We know how to cook. We grow everything we need on the farm. We can make spectacular salads. So why don't we, 3 days a week, invite 12 people to come and have lunch. You have to arrive by 12. You can leave by 4. And we will serve you a lunch that you will remember.
Sure.
And that's what they did 35 years ago. And today you're lucky if you can get a booking to be one of those 12 people on those few days.
Sure.
And word of mouth and guest farms and bed and breakfasts now tell their guests, if you want a spectacular meal, go there. You arrive, they don't have wine, you can bring your own wine if you want, and they will serve you 3 salads. And you spend your time trying to work out what the ingredients are, because there's secret ingredients in every one of those salads. You can see it, but you're going to argue about what it is.
Okay.
And they will tell you at the end of each round what it was.
Okay.
But it keeps the debate going at your table. It is a spectacular idea. And it doesn't miss the fact that they win the top 10 restaurant guide for that region every single year. So
brilliant.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
So you don't mind the untarred roads. You don't mind the fact that they're in the middle of nowhere. The food is what attracts their business. The second was a person who runs a guest house in a town that has hundreds of guest houses.
Yeah.
And what she did was she said, let's dress. And they've got 2 houses, by the way, next to each other. Let's dress up our rooms to be totally different to what anybody else is offering. So you get there, and the linen is better than a 5-star hotel.
Wow.
You get pod coffee if you want in your room, or you get instant coffee, or you get plunger coffee. You get more tea varieties than you can possibly think.
Yeah.
Your fridge has got all kinds of little treats. There are homemade rusks.
Whoa.
The shower is spectacular.
Sure.
They have body lotion. They've got shower gel. They've got air freshener. And they've got shampoo. But what is different is the fragrances that are in these particular items come from bushes around the area.
Wow.
And they are absolutely spectacular. You would not know where you could possibly buy. You can buy it.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you a couple of $100. But those showers and those bathroom facilities are better than I have seen in any 5-star hotel in South Africa, better than even Harrods. And if you know you go to Harrods in London, those toilets are spectacular. It's better than even what they have. And so she has made that difference. And we are going to go there as a clan, because they've got one house, double-storied, where you can sit upstairs and have a view of the reserve and the sea. At night, if you opened up, you can hear the seals and the penguins. You can see the whales. The fireplace is huge. You can braai, but you can do so even in the worst storm. So she has made that different so that you're going to go there rather than competition.
That is brilliant.
So if you're running a business, you have to compete in a way that makes your customers want to come to you. And those 2 people got it right. They have something different, something that makes you want to come to that particular person. So for those listeners who tell me they're starting up a new business, just apply your mind. Don't try and compete on price. Compete on what it is that's going to create the memory, that's going to create the people coming back. Because it's cheaper if the person comes back a second time than it is to find the client for the first time round. And if you have one of those days where life is impossible, go and have coffee. It works. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Nico Kleynhans. Thank you so much.